And I do call out wives pretty often, especially because of my experiences as an escort, as a madam. I couldn't understand how a woman could be so unkind to the man that she's committed to, the man that's doing his best to be committed to her. I was wanting to take some time here on my channel and make something very clear. I'm not anti-woman. I'm not anti-wife. I am a woman. I am a wife. My husband and I have been together for 11 years now, and I'm giving you the woman's perspective, not just the coach's perspective. And it's not just based on my own experiences with my husband. I used to be an escort. I also was a madam of a really popular brothel in a big city in Texas. I think I learned more as a madam than I really did as an escort. While they were waiting for their appointment, if I knew them well, I would invite them to come back into my office in the back lounge, and I would ask them if they wanted to have a drink, and we would have these really deep conversations, and they would open up and they would tell me everything going on in their marriages. And or some of the single guys, their relationships. I would have men tell me in very real, direct ways the way that they were being treated by their wives, whether it was real or imagined by them. They were telling me how they felt. They felt like they were not a necessary part of their relationships at all. They were just there to pay for stuff. One man told me, I feel like a wallet and a sperm donor. And now that my wife's had all the kids that she wants to have, I am not needed in the bedroom. And another man said, yeah, occasionally she'll throw me a pity fuck. I'd rather jack off alone than have that be part of my marriage. You know, it wasn't just one guy telling me this. There were many. I'd hear the same stories. And I'm sitting there thinking, holy crap. I mean, it just drove me crazy because I'm listening to this man. And yeah, okay, he's about to see a prostitute, but otherwise, he's a decent man. He's clearly successful. He can afford to be there regularly. He's expressive. He's sharing his heart. He cares. And then I would hear from the women afterwards, oh, he's really good in bed. I love seeing him. He just makes everything so easy. And then after hearing pouring his heart out like that, I'd assume, oh yeah, well, if your wife isn't into you, you must be bad in bed. But that wasn't it. So it must be other things. And that's what got me really curious, like what is going on? Because in my previous marriages, I never felt like I just straight up did not want to have sex with my husband. I've always been pretty open about sex and my body. And I think that's why it made it easy. I mean, I'm not going to use the word easy, but made more sense why someone like me would become a sex worker. Because in a certain situation, a hot guy offered me money for sex, and I was kind of like, okay, well, let's just see where this goes. And I just felt like at that time in my life, it was an adventure that I was willing to take. Was it empowering? Kind of at the time, I felt like it. But it was just as much desperation as it was curiosity. But I was never the kind of wife who was just like, I don't feel like having sex with you. I've never really understood that mindset. But then again, back then, I was a woman in her 20s and 30s and 40s. Now that I'm post-menopause and I'm in my 60s, and my husband has always told me that I can talk about whatever I want to on this channel. So I don't talk too much about our personal life. But am I always in the mood now that I've gone through menopause? No. Do I have the same sex drive I did even in my 50s? No. Do we still have hot sex? Yes. We just did a few nights ago. Do we have sex all the time? No. But we're wildly affectionate. You know, we're always holding hands. We kiss and we hug every single morning. That's how we start our day, with warmth and connection. And when the weather's good, which it is here in Central Texas most of the time, we sit on the back porch with our coffee and we talk for an hour. That's how we start every day. That's intimacy, right? That's what effort looks like. And when he walks into the room, I stop what I'm doing. Why? Because nothing's more important to me than my husband. That's why my YouTube videos don't always come out at the same time every week or even every week. It's because I'm a wife, I'm a mom, I'm a grandma. Those things come before my business. Now, if we have an appointment, like if you made a coaching call with me, I'm there, period. I keep my word. My husband never asks me to step away from my business, ever. He takes it just as seriously as I do. But he is my husband, he's my man, and he comes first. But that didn't happen by accident. It's because we talk about it. We didn't just sit around assuming and hoping and wishing that things would work out and then getting butthurt when they don't go our way. We have conversations, honest ones. That's how this works. That's how I know what he wants and how he knows what I want. You know, and a video I put out about lazy wives, I feel like I can talk about that. I can say that with credibility because I'm a wife and I know what it feels like to just not feel your best and not want to give your all. And I do call out wives pretty often, especially because of my experiences as an escort, as a madam. I heard it all the dang time. And I'll say it again, it blew my mind because I couldn't understand how a woman could be so unkind to the man that she's committed to, the man that's doing his best to be committed to her, no matter what you want to think about a man who was stepping out on his wife to see a prostitute. That was his solution to a problem. So you want to judge it, go ahead. So many of us don't know what that's like to feel that deep rejection. And that we see a solution to that problem is right there. So many men that I talk to are never proud of themselves for seeing sex workers. They're not like, yeah, I did that. That's great. Just like, I'm not proud of myself for the things that I did, but I'm doing my best now. And sometimes it's unbelievable to me, that life. Just like so many men that I talk to now that don't see sex workers anymore. And we talk about that. They're like, I can't believe that was something that I did. That's them saying that to me. I'm like, yeah, I get it. You know, I get it. I was a postmenopausal woman, right? Like I said, I see sex very differently. My body is different. I had a whole, what the hell is going on moment, more than one, working out, eating well, and still not getting the same results training. It's frustrating. So when I call out wives on here, when I talk to you men, you husbands, you partners, it's because this dynamic between y'all just didn't fall from the sky. You created it together, certainly not intentionally, but your actions helped shape it. But not every low sex marriage looks like this, but this is a thing that happens, especially with a certain kind of man, with a nice guy. There's a dynamic where you're doing too much. So much that it's made your wife lazy because she has no skin in the game. And why? Because you don't give her the space. You don't give her the space to have any skin in the game. You're afraid that if you stop doing, if you stop fixing, if you stop carrying all of it, and that if you hang back, that she won't respond. And then you'll have to face the truth that she might not care about you the way that you care about her. And I'm going to say this with a little bit of judgment. This is stuff that you should have been looking at the beginning of your relationship. This dynamic didn't just happen overnight, but here you are. And what it looks like now is this. You've done everything. You've given her everything, even things she didn't ask for. Because in your mind, that's what love is. You think, this is who I am in a relationship. I take care of things. I put myself last. But that isn't generosity. It's a pattern. It's being a martyr. It's being a caretaker. And I have a quiz at sexloveandsoul.com that you can take, and you can find out what type of nice guy you are. And why it matters is because this is a pattern of behavior. It's not the real you. It's a persona that you're adopting to cope with life, with love. And it's most likely how you were raised, like it's a coping mechanism, because this usually starts at home. What your parents modeled for you, how your mom treated you, how your dad showed up or didn't show up. A lot of nice guys were raised by a single mom. God bless single moms. I was one. But I was also very, very conscious not to raise nice guys because I watched my mom browbeat my dad and I hated it. Even as a kid, I saw it. I hated it. And so when I tell you this pattern matters, it matters. So take the quiz on my site and see which flavor of nice guy that you are. I'll send you an email with the result and just explain some of the patterning and likely, how it happened and the steps that you can do to change it. And then for some of you, you go, oh, yeah, that's me. And just seeing that, you will be able to shift on your own. And that is enough information for you to have the light bulb moment over your head and go, yes, now I'm ready to change. I'm ready to step into my masculine energy and have an amazing relationship with my wife. Or if you're single, like, yeah, now I know what I'm doing. It's enough for many of you to start shifting. Others of you, you're going to need a little bit more. And that's what my new course, The Polarity Code, is for. That course helps you reclaim what you've lost. Now, because a lot of you've handed over your masculine frame. And I don't mean that your wife is masculine and you're effeminate. Some women aren't stepping into the masculine role. They're just withdrawing. So now you're in a marriage with a woman who's just gone quiet. She's shut down. She's checked out. Or you're with someone who is fully in her masculine and controlling every move. The quiz helps you identify it and the course helps you change it. Right? And it's not about tactics. It's not about tricks. Just seeing, damn, I've been doing this backwards. I've been doing this the hard way. Your masculine energy, that structure, that presence, that edge is a gift and it's needed. It's what built this world. Roads, bridges, tech, cities, power, libraries. Testosterone is creative. That's why we have skyscrapers and symphonies, right? That's why we have art. That's why we have war. That's why we have things we love, because masculine energy shapes space. Feminine energy is meant to be beauty, expansion, air. It's meant to feel light and soft, like a breeze moving through your life. But for most of you, feminine energy feels like a pressure cooker. Like you're just being pressed in on all sides, right? It doesn't feel like openness. It feels like a trap. Your home isn't a sanctuary. It's a minefield. And every night you're scanning, you're wondering, which version of her am I getting tonight? What did I do or not do that's going to bring out that sharp little sigh, that disappointed look? And it's always over some kind of bullshit that you didn't even see coming. I'm in my feminine energy, and even though sometimes I feel like I should know better, I still do that shit sometimes to my husband too. Because when you live with someone, conflict happens, but the conflict isn't the problem. It's how you're handling it. And a lot of you're married to a woman who does not want to give up control. Her whole body says no. She's clenched, she's tight, she's closed off, including her vagina. Her whole energy says, store is closed. You're not welcome here. And it can be scary to you because you love her. You've built a life with her. You've got kids. You've got assets. You don't want to blow it all up. You don't want some other guy raising your kids. You don't want to lose half of everything and end up with nothing. Give up your beautiful family home so you're each living in an apartment. You don't want that. You want a solution. And that's what I do in my coaching, right? That's what I do in my courses. It's hard to talk about some of this stuff, but men email me all the time. If you got a question, email me, mary@sexloveandsoul.com. And I'll do my best to respond as quickly as possible because I know how much it takes to hit send. So I respect that. I respect you for looking for answers because it's hard when you think that you're doing everything right and you're trying and you're trying and you're trying and things are just getting worse because often doing more doesn't open her up. It closes her off even more because you've given up your masculine frame. This is an invitation. Check out my courses. I actually have a holiday sale on right now. The sale runs through the end of the year, all the way through Christmas. And I'm extending the coupon code for my coaching through January because I know this time of year you're with family, you're just feeling all these things, and you could use a little tune-up. And my coaching does cost money because it gets results. And some of you, one session is enough. Others, you need a little more TLC. The Polarity Code course I mentioned is also discounted right now. That won't last forever. One thing I'm doing in that is I'm adding live coaching calls. If you already bought it, keep an eye out in your email because I'll be announcing those live coaching calls soon. It'll be like a study hall where we can dive deeper together. You can bring your questions about the course and I'll give you answers. So I have more offerings coming up soon too. Besides the group coaching, I'm going to be offering different things at different price points so that coaching is accessible no matter where you are financially. I'm also building an app, a place where I can speak a little more freely because YouTube doesn't censor me outright. But when I talk about sex or escorts, they turn off the monetization on things, which now I'm like just giving up on that because I'm selling courses now. I'm creating my own commercials instead of relying on YouTube. I'm going to create spaces where I don't have to edit myself, where I can just, say the thing that I've been wanting to say. So that's what I've got going on. So if you haven't subscribed to my channel, why not? It's fast, it's fun, it's easy, it's free, and you just might learn something. All right, so check out my show notes for discount codes, link to my courses. I have other courses besides the Polarity Code. I also have books. I have some free PDFs, and also you can sign up for my free weekly newsletter. I write original content for that every week. And again, I love hearing from y'all. Email me, mary@sexloveandsoul.com. And let me know if you'll let me use your story on my channel, of course, anonymously. It's a big help for other men to hear that they are not alone in this, that it isn't just you. I promise you, it is never just you. Thank you so much for listening. Bye for now.